Good afternoon and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. It is Tuesday afternoon, and today Kathleen and I have returned home from the funeral. For those who were watching earlier about the goodie bag, yes, I was going with her, but I didn't want to put that out publicly before we left. It was a 500-mile drive. It was more than 500 miles. It was 10 hours it took us each way. We got back about lunchtime today. I've had a nap, and here I am again. And why I'm talking to you this afternoon rather than this evening is there's something that I noticed when I was away. As you know, I live quite rural. I work full time. I don't particularly go out much, but when we were down south, we stayed in a hotel. And I was horrified by the treatment and the negativity of people who were in the hotel. Now, obviously, hotels are very expensive to run nowadays. The one we were staying in was what could possibly call genteel. It once was a beautiful hotel. It still has very good quality furniture, etc. It's a very good quality building. But the maintenance is causing them a bit of a problem. It's obviously the electricity costs and food costs are huge. The food was phenomenally good, I have to say. I'd happily eat there every day. Huge compliments to the chef. But we were in the lounge where you got your coffee, your soup and a sandwich, or your drinks, and we were also in the restaurant. And most of the staff are quite young, I'm presuming because they're cheaper to employ. Also, they can live with their parents because it was a holiday town. And the attitudes of people to these young people who were coming up with can I take your order, please? Are you ready to order? Yes. Do you have this? Well, let me go and check. Oh, well, why don't you know? Well, I've been here a week. So rather than give you the wrong information, please let me go and check. So he came back and told him something, and the guy's sitting there going, well, that's not much good. And as for the guy who was here last week, he didn't know much better. Why are you going off on this guy? It's not his fault. And it just seemed to be a whole thing. The treatment, the attitude towards the staff was horrifying. Now, Kathleen and I have both worked in hospitality throughout our time. I have done waitressing, I have done reception, Kathleen's done waitressing and housekeeping. And although it's not the easiest, it certainly wasn't as bad as that. I mean, the staff just could not do right for doing wrong. It didn't seem to matter what they did. There was always something to nitpick at. Now, the memorial service that they had at the hotel was absolutely fabulous. They looked after everything. They looked after the family who had lost a family member. They were so good to them. And yet there was still people being remarkable, saying, oh, look at that, they need to get that painted. Do you not think they know that? Do you not think they're trying? Do you not think they're struggling to keep these businesses going? So, of course, I got so cross that I was like, I need to do a video about this. We need to start being more positive people, especially to staff, to retail staff, to hospitality staff, to customer service staff. I mean, I know I've spoken to some people who work on the phones, not in call centres, but just in different offices. And people just are expecting so much more than they're entitled to. And they're being so rude down the phone. They're expecting things yesterday. They're expecting people to do things that are just physically impossible. They put a call in saying, this has happened, I need it fixed. They want it fixed tomorrow. Sorry. They don't have staff sitting waiting on your call to suddenly jump up and go, sure, Bob, I'll come out to you and I will get your grass cut tomorrow. The grass cutters are booked out for the next 2 weeks minimum. So if you suddenly phone up and say, oh, I need this done, no. But stop being rude to the person on the phone. It's not their fault that you haven't organised your world. It's not their fault that you want it done now, but you only decided that 2 hours ago. And I have to say, I was absolutely heart sorry for these staff. They were, young people, probably the oldest was mid-20s. And the guests were older, many of them older than me. And their attitude stunk. Stunk. Don't care. It smelled lots. It was horrible. So please, if you're interacting with someone, can we please try and spread a bit of positivity? Rather than pick on the thing that's wrong, let's talk about the thing that's right. Rather than talk about when we had come out of the pool and there was a family there with a young girl and there was a hairdryer on the wall for her. And, rather than say what a great time they had in the pool, all the mother was doing was saying how dreadful this hairdryer was and it wouldn't do her hair properly and it's not going to do her daughter's hair properly. You've just been into the pool for a swim. Your daughter was happy enough running about when we first came in. Now she's sulking like a 2-year-old because you've got nothing but negativity going on. We need to stop this. We need to start pulling out the positives. So that is my New Week's resolution. Let's pick up some positives and let's try and spread that positivity because, oh my goodness, if I was the staff in that hotel, I would not be there for long. Because to just get told how awful I am or how awful the hotel is, day in, day out, or to get told how awful the shop is or the company that I work for, how do people put up with that? How would you expect people to put up with that? So yeah, that's my wee thing today. So I'm going to go and rest now and catch up with the news because I didn't do any news at all. But I have to say, just at the tail end here, shout out to Kathleen because we shared the driving on the way down, but she was determined she was doing it herself on the way back up because myself and her recently passed granddad, we both did long distance driving for various different jobs. And she's like, nope, if you've done it and granddad's done it, I'm going to do it. So bless her little cotton socks. She drove up the whole 10 hours by herself. And basically, to give you an idea, if you look up the UK, we were down in, where were we? Cornwall. We were down in Cornwall. If you look up Truro, we were close to Truro, and she drove back up to Perth. We left at 3 o'clock in the morning. So kudos to my girl. I am exceptionally proud of her. So I hope you have a good afternoon. I am going to go and get myself organised. I'm halfway through getting my stuff ready for work tomorrow. Mandy's picking me up tomorrow morning. And I will no doubt be back later tonight. Have a good afternoon. Catch you later.